Yeah. Mrs. Z and Fifth. Welcome.
Remember the time of Emmett Till, young black male who gonna get killed. Bordered the train in Illinois Central.
Yep.
Went to visit him great uncle.
For those who don't know this record, this is Mississippi Tears off our album. Zacchaeus and the Fifth General. The example.
In him uncle home, that's where them all caught him. Pistol whipped him and beat him and shot him. Tallahatchie River, that's where them all toss him. Mama and me said they want for open coffin.
Yeah.
Supremacy, we have to expose them. This box, this civil right movement be starting. Thank God for Mega, Malcolm and Martin. No doubts, no bomb, no non-stop.
Talking about the Emmett Till movie.
I saw their tears fall down the rise. Saw them not to run a hide in the eyes of homicide. Through faith, we all
Let's throw it back so they can hear you first.
Yeah, go get it, y'all. iTunes everywhere.
Zacchaeus spitting about Emmett Till, y'all.
Yeah.
Young black male who gonna get killed. Bordered the train in Illinois Central. Went to visit him great uncle. 1955 black people get trampled. Racism got the country in a shackle. White women say Emmett gone and whistle. Emmett just went free by candy and apple. In him uncle home, that's where them all caught him. Pistol whipped him and beat him and shot him. Tallahatchie River, that's where them all toss him. Mama and me said they want for open coffin. White supremacy, we have to expose them. This box, the civil right movement be starting.
Makes sense.
Mega, Malcolm and Martin. No doubt, no bomb, no non-stop, we marching.
Makes sense.
I saw their tears fall down the rise. Saw them not to run a hide in the eyes of homicide. Through faith, we all can rise.
Turn it down. Yo, let's get into it. Let's go. Welcome to another episode of Mr. Z and Fifth with your host, Zacchaeus and the Fifth General. What up, Zacchaeus?
Hey, what's good? I'm good. Hey, what's good?
You good. We hear you.
Yeah.
So we played a little bit of that just so we can make sense of what we talking about. Zacchaeus, you saw the Emmett Till movie?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Yes, I did.
Speak
Yes,
on
I
it.
did.
Speak on it.
Yeah, well, that movie, those who don't know, because I when I looked at that movie, and then when I went over, and then I asked a few folks about let's talk about the Emmett Till story. A lot of them don't know. Believe it or not, about the whole and the story of Emmett Till.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are not educated on the Emmett Till story.
Right.
Well, and it goes into the story. It goes into the story where Emmett Till is with Mama Mamie, his mother, and he's going through the normal. He's a 14-year-old boy. He's like what typical 14-year-old boy do, but he's a little bit extra as far as like playing around. He's a kid. He's playing around, but his mother. This is the beginning of the film where his mother educates him because he's looking forward to going and seeing his cousins in Mississippi.
Yeah.
He's looking forward to go see his cousins in Mississippi. Yeah. So his mother tries to educate him on how it is in the South.
Right, because things are different in Illinois.
It was different in Chicago.
Right. Well, Illinois in general, the state of Illinois.
The state of Illinois. Yeah. It's different in the state of Illinois because in Illinois there is some racism, but it's not it's not segregated like
Mississippi was at that time.
Yeah. Mississippi. So he's excited and been looking at the film, and even Emmett Till, his whole demeanor, you can tell that he's so excited about going out and connecting with his cousins. He's about to get picked up on the train by his great uncle, because his great uncle went with his nephews to go with his cousins to go come pick him up. And Mama Amy, before he jumped on the train going to Money, Mississippi, Mama Amy warned his great uncle. He said, "Listen, listen, Emmett is a little playful, but could you please just watch him for me?" And he said, great uncle said, "Listen, I will. Don't worry about the boy. I got it. We got him. I will watch over him. I will take care of him. we got him, and they hugged Emmett Till's mother, and they said, listen, yeah, we all right. So Emmett Till hugged his mother. They jumped on the train and they journeyed to Mississippi. Now the next scene jumps into like a lot of people, a lot of us living in this area. No, a lot we picking cotton because the South grew cotton, so they were picking cotton in a cotton field, picking cotton in a cotton field, and it was huge. Mississippi is one of those places where the lands are wide. It's so huge. There's great landscapes, great huge landscape, and cotton in a cotton they were picking. They were just picking cotton, but Emmett, he doesn't know nothing about picking cotton. Remember, he's from Illinois. He doesn't know anything too much about picking cotton, so he's looking at his cousins like, "Y'all gonna do this all day?" And he's pretending he's just bugging them. He's a typical 14-year-old. So he falls into the field, cotton field, and he's playing around. So they thought something happened to him. So when they went to run to go pick up um Emmett, they were like, stop playing around, but man, you're gonna get us in trouble the way how you play around Emmett. He said, nah. He pretended he was dead. He's playing around, the typical 14-year-old boy, playful boy. But one thing his mother, Mama Amy, wanted to paint a picture. She only told him, she said in the film that she only told him about Mississippi, only for a short period of time because he wanted Emmett Till to live. He wanted Emmett Till to feel that he is in a comfortable place. That's the one mistake Mama Amy said she said that she didn't drill him on the experience of black people in the South and the experience of just the racism when it comes to when it comes to white people towards black people. She didn't really she said she didn't really teach him. She just wanted her son to just be young, be just youthful and just enjoy life. But as you can see, even in Chicago, before he went on a trip to Money, Mississippi, even in Chicago, there was a man that was working in the store when he went to go get some clothes just to go to Money, Mississippi. He looked at him and said, "You gotta go to the basement. You don't belong up here." And Mommy Amy just pulled him out the she pulled him out the store because a certain place, even although it's not segregated in Illinois so much, but it's really segregated in Mississippi. In 1955, this one part made you cry in the film though, is when he walked into the store. He walked into the store. His cousins walked with him to the store. Now they walked to the store, and his cousins were just playing. Remember their cousins are young too, and they want to. They didn't really go into the store, and they were playing spades outside the store. Emmett remember he's 14 years old. He got bored. He walked into the store, and he just walked around the store, looking around the store, walking in the store. Now, may I remind you, this is Money, Mississippi. In 1955, he walked into the store. He's walking around the store, and behind the counter, now there's a jar of candy sitting on the counter, a jar of candy sitting on the counter, and behind that jar, and behind the counter, here goes Carolyn Dunham, the woman that accused him of whistling at him, whistling at her. Now Emmett, being the young boy that he is, he took the cover off the jar. He stuck his hands in the candy jar and he pulled out the gumballs. There's a bunch of gumballs he pulled out, and then he put it down to pay for it. Mistakenly, I guess that was not really a mistake. He just put it down, and the film. This is according to the film. Emmett looked at her and said, "Wow, you remind me of a movie star." And Carolyn looked at him and said, "What did you say, boy?" He said, Emmett, as innocent as he is, he pulled out a picture of he had a pocket. He had a picture in his wallet, and he pulled it out and he looked and said, "Yeah, he looked like this." Now, the woman in that picture looked like Marilyn Monroe. The woman in the picture that he pulled out his wallet, in the picture looked like Marilyn Monroe, but she was, but Carolyn Dunham was still offended. So may I remind you, his cousin, he was not in the store when this all went down. His cousins was not in the store with him when this all went down. Emmett, she just hollered and she just went to go grab something because when Emmett told her, Emmett was like, "What did I do? What did I do? What did I do?" The cousins jumped up out from playing spades outside their chairs, and they're like, "What did my cousin do? What did he do? What did he do?" Yo, she came outside. Carolyn came out. Emmett ran out the store. She stepped outside, and she said, "Know what she said? He offended me. He offended me." And then Emmett did. Then according to the film, Emmett whistled. Whew, whew. You're very pretty. She ran Carolyn down. She ran to go get her gun. Dunham ran to go get her gun. The boys all hopped in the car and they took off in the car. One of the cousins was driving. They all hopped in the car and she went to go grab her gun. Now, 3 or 4 days has passed by. The cousins were a little worried because one of the cousins told Emmett. They said, "Emmett, black boys get hung for less than you do. What you did to her was crazy. And black men get hung for less. They get lynched for less." Now, Emmett, being from Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, he didn't know. He was like, and one of his cousins said, "Didn't Mama Amy's from Mississippi? Didn't she warn you?" He said, "But I was not doing nothing. Did I do anything wrong? Just playing with her. We don't do that. No." 4 days passed by. They thought nothing was going on. 4 days passed by. 4 nights passed by. They thought everything was done. Then all of a sudden, now one night, Emmett Till is with his uncle. They were sleeping. This is late night. This had to be about 2 a.m. in the morning. Imagine 2 a.m. in the morning. And you're sound asleep. Emmett is sound asleep. His cousins in the rooms with him, they're sound asleep. His uncle and his great uncle and the wife is sound asleep. And all of a sudden, hear me now. All of a sudden, they get a bang, 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 bang at the door. Bang, 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 bang. Now the uncle woke up right away. Now Emmett was sound asleep. One of his cousins said, "What is that?" Uh-oh. Like he already knew. One of the cousins already knew. Now the uncle had no idea. He had no idea that what was it? He didn't know what the banging was about. He had no idea what the banging was about. He came, and here goes 2 white men. J.W. Miles and his his stepbrother or half brother. They came. These men are in their 40s. I think one is in his mid 40s. The other one is a little younger, like 42. They're in there, they banging. And he opens the door and say, "What's wrong, sir?" Remember, in the South, black people cannot look at white people in the eyes. That's what Mama Amy did tell him. So he was looking away when he said, "Sir, what's going on?" He said, "Don't you have that? You have that?" And excuse my French. He was like, "Do you have that nigga boy here from out of town?" He was like, "Yeah, what's wrong?" He had no idea what was going on. No idea. So he just they barged the door open, pushed him aside. Remember, they had weapons. They had 2 shotguns. One had a shotgun, and one had a rifle, one of those long rifles. Pushed him aside. His wife came out frantically. "What's going on? What's going on? Please, please!" And she pleaded with them. "I would beat him. I would beat him. Please don't take. He's out of town. He doesn't know. He's not from here. Please, please, please." And the uncle was like, "Please, sir, we'll discipline the boy. He doesn't know anything what's going on. We'll discipline him, please." And there it goes. They took Emmett from the home The boys were scared. Emmett put on this jacket. They literally brought him up with no shoes on. They literally brought him up with no shoes. They said, "Boy, you're not where we're taking you. You're not gonna need that." They grabbed Emmett, grabbed him from his home, from his uncle's home. The uncle, they were petrified because the uncle said if they took Emmett. Now, as they took him, you could hear the movie didn't show the beatings, but you heard it coming from where they took him in the barn, wherever they took him. They beat him, and guess what? Who was in the truck? That a lot of people don't know this, but there were two other black men. I think two other black men in the truck where they took Emmett. It was two other black men. One of them is still living today. He's in his 80s. One of the black men that was in the truck when the two older white men took him. One of the black men is in his 80s today. He's still living today. I can't believe it. He's still living. But he confessed that. Listen, I admit I was young. I was a teenager. They grabbed me and my friend, and they told us to help us with Emmett. They took Emmett and they just tortured him until they killed him. They put him and when they killed him, they threw his body in a Tallahassee River in Mississippi, and they just disfigured him. They just disfigured him and they killed him. And those who don't know, anybody don't know the story, look up Emmett Till. That his story made big news. It crossed across the country in 1955 like wildfire.
So
if you don't know the story,
I think people,
you know?
I think people get the point. Right. This was based off a true story.
Yes, it's a true story.
I've known about it. I haven't seen the movie, but I did see the ABC series, that mini series.
Yes.
That they had on it. So it plays out how I expected it would. This is why we were playing our your verse from the track Mississippi Tears off the album.
Yes.
The example. So yeah. So what did you think about the movie overall, man?
It's a good film. If you want to go and be educated on the story, that's a good film. That's a good film to watch because it goes into details.
Yeah.
It goes into details of how it all transpired and how his mother, Mama Amy, at the end of his death was a huge. I mean, that's painful for what she went through.
Yeah.
But that was her only child. But she was a huge advocate. And if you want to know what's one of the events that triggered
the movement.
civil rights movement.
Yeah,
that triggered and and I'm glad they showed what Medgar Evers was heavily involved. Evers, those who don't know, the activist Medgar Evers as part of that's the leader of the NAACP back in the time of 1955. He was a huge advocate in that case.
Yep, absolutely. That's what got his attention. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. So many stuff was happening. There were Emmett Tills before Emmett Till. But that particular situation with Emmett Till, because of him being a child, that right there said, you know what? Nah. Because if they could do this to our babies, they're going to still continue to do this to our adults. So
let me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now I'm gonna go into real quickly because the Bible says, "Vengeance is mine," said the Lord.
Yep.
I'm gonna go into this real quickly. Now, the two men that did that to Emmett Till, right? Their businesses, they're so foolish because the wife, Carolyn Dunn, that was married to one of them, the business after that case, after that whole case, the business shut down because black people was the huge consumers in that store.
Yeah.
Black people was the biggest consumers in that store that they owned. So once they did that to Emmett Till, their business has shut down. The business shut down. They went out of business. And they went bankrupt. The two brothers got it. Two of them. One of them got a divorce. Because he lost the supply of money. Got a divorce. Later on, got cancer. Later on, I think he died in the 1970. Got cancer and just went bankrupt. Nobody would hire him. In other words, you know what one of them said? Emmett Till put a curse on my life. You killed him, but yet he said Emmett Till put a curse on my life. Now, the other brother had nightmares. One time he said he dreamt because remember they got off. Remember during the case they got off many times, not just one time when the case was tried. They got off more than one time when Medgar Evers and the attorneys tried to appeal the case. They got off. But what they went through was torment because one of the brothers said, and I'll never forget what he said before he died. He said, listen, he said he could not sleep. Every time he opened up his door and in his dreams, he had nightmares, Emmett Till would be standing right there with his hands folded, looking at him, staring at him.
As he should.
Yes. So that means he was haunted by Emmett Till's spirit. That's number one. Number two, because he had those two reputations, they had those reputations of killing a child, not even their own folks supported them. They died broke. One died of cancer, the other one died bankrupt, and they both died a horrible deaths. Now, Carolyn Dunn, that's why the Bible says you reap what you sow. Two of her sons died. She outlived both of her sons. And then she had the nerve to say, now I know how Mama Amy feels. I lost both of my sons. No, she's still living today. I think she's about 80. She's 88 years old.
She also admitted she lied. She also admitted.
And she admitted that she lied.
Yeah,
after all these years,
she admitted maybe 10 years ago, I think. 10, 15 years ago, she admitted that she
admitted she lied. She got to be about 90 now. Yeah, but
she should have been arrested.
She should have, yes.
Yeah, because she was an accomplice to a murder.
Yes, and she lived her life.
Yeah.
So, lived their life to the fullest.
Zacchaeus, I find it interesting how they could arrest Bill Cosby, but not her.
Speak on it. Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the things that is very selective in this country or in this world, especially this country, is that they will still go out of their way to make sure that they find employers. Not even Nazi soldiers, but employers who worked on Nazi Holocaust camps.
Yeah,
they still arrest them, and these guys are like very old, like you're talking about. Right?
Yeah, 90, close to 100 years old, man.
Yeah, I said employee. I'm not even talking about a soldier. Yes, they arrest the soldiers, but they arrest the employees. Like if you was cleaning toilets in one of those camps, you get arrested. Meanwhile, this woman could live her life and not get arrested for being an accomplice to a crime of a 14-year-old kid. Ain't that something?
They choose who they want to. Yeah.
And that's gonna segue into what we got at the end of the show. All right, we're gonna move on. A sad thing happened, you said, in Ohio, right? I want you to get to that story.
Yeah, Bug the Bandit, in 2021, she was an upcoming
rapper,
artist, rapper, trap artist, because I heard her style of music out of Ohio. I think out of Columbus, Ohio, and she was very inspiring. She even, if you look into a story, she was a model for Chris Brown. She was a model for Chris Brown. I think one of Chris Brown's clothing or wear, she was actually fit to be a model. But she had a desire for music. She had a desire to. If you look at Boot the Bandit on YouTube, you're gonna see all her music videos are up. She was an up and coming. She was about to be something big in Ohio. And it goes back to the case of now I don't the story goes like this. She was in her, to make a long story short, she was upcoming inspirational rapper, but more like a trap artist. But they, the guys that killed her were people that she was familiar with. But as she was coming up, they seemed to just, they were following her. As the story goes on, they were following her, and as they followed her, she pulled into a parking lot. And then as she pulled into a parking lot, she had a driver. So she had a friend that was driving her somewhere. Because remember, she came up, but I know, don't say remember, but she came up pretty poor because I know her. She was living with her mom, and she just wanted her mother to stop working so hard because her mother worked 2 jobs. But she figured that she bust in the music industry, and she had to connect with Chris Brown, and she'd be able to push her own music and just make it out the ghetto in Ohio. Just make it out the ghetto. All she wanted to do was support her mother, have her get out the hood in Ohio. That's all she wanted to do.
Right.
And she was gunned down by 3 evil dudes, 3 wicked dudes, gunned down senselessly. The other guy got hit. The guy that was driving, he got hit. He got away. He didn't get. He got scratched, but he wasn't hit. He was driving fast when the bullets were coming. But as he looked back in the seat of the car, he realized Boot the Bandit was hit multiple times.
Wow.
Now Boot the Bandit is only about, this girl is no more than 21 years old. 20, no, actually she's 20. I heard she's 25, 24, 25 years old. She's a youth. She's a youth. She's young. And but she was a big, in her community, as she was coming, you could see the young people really gravitating towards her music, and they're really gravitating her to in her community in Ohio. She was definitely gonna be you'll definitely hear her name. But you won't hear her name so much because she was cut down very shortly. Sad story, very sad story. Her mother finally got justice because all 3 guys were caught. The youngest one out of the 3 guys was 17 years old. I guess he's accomplice to the murder because he didn't do the shooting.
Yeah.
Too, but he was just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. He was in when they shot Boot the Bandit and that other brother, he was just there, right there, and he got caught up. And then now they're serving, I think they're serving 25, 20, they're serving time. They're serving 20 years plus, all 3 of them. It is sad that she had to lose her life so senselessly. Young girl. I believe Chris Brown would have pulled her in because if you look at her music videos, you see probably Chris and she definitely would have been a name out there. You would have heard of her. She's like a little. She has a still style like Young and May. She has that kind of feel to her. She's, that kind of style. But it's really sad, really really sad.
Well, condolences to our family.
Condolences to her mother.
That's all I could say.
Yeah. That was just her and her mother living together. The sad thing about it was just her and her mother just living alone together. That's a sad thing. It's sad.
Sometimes that's all you got, and for that to happen, that's why I'm saying condolences to the mother, because at the end of the day, man, that's the one who's still here living with that pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she still got to live with the pain that her daughter's not here.
And you have to applaud the justice, because you got to have justice, man, no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to have justice. So, another thing, I'm gonna play an audio of our next topic. Let's go.
Carter from the discovery of his name woods outside Taylorsville, 31 days after he.
Let me start that over.
What happened? and the reason why.
The family of Rasheem Rael Carter is reeling from the discovery of what could be his remains in the woods outside Taylorsville, 31 days after he went missing. His cousin Shondo Wright says he told his mother the day he disappeared that he was concerned about 3 men following him and told her to question them if anything happened to him.
He did speak with his mom, Tiffany, about a white truck and white males in there threatening to harm him. He did give her their names.
According to authorities, the 25-year-old was last seen outside a Super 8 hotel on October 2nd in Laurel, a half hour from where he had been contracted to work in Taylorsville at Georgia Pacific. The Hines Community College graduate did not have a vehicle. He also sold seafood in and around his home of Fayette.
He was real down to earth. He never met a stranger. He talked when you met him. He always greeted with a smile. He was just a fun and loving person. She didn't bother anyone.
Carter also leaves behind a 6-year-old daughter and a family wanting answers.
If anyone knows, just come forward and let the family know. We want closure. We deserve closure.
In Jackson, Rosalind Anderson, 3 on your side.
Mississippi.
Wow.
What were we talking about? What were we talking about in the beginning of the show?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want to give a perspective here. Rest in peace to Rasheem Carter.
Rasheem Carter, yeah.
And condolences to his family. I also want to actually congratulate him before he left us, that he actually told his mother, hey, if I ever go, this is what I need you to do. And you know what? I gotta say, I wish that brother wasn't alone, because him being alone reminds me of Ahmaud Arbery. What did I?
Yes.
We talked about Ahmaud Arbery, right?
Yes.
The only reason why we even know about Ahmaud Arbery because of videotape, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because remember when the thing happened, it was a shut case, but then when the driver released the video, that's when the world knew about it.
Yeah.
So, send prayers to his mother, because I think it's a lot for his mother. Number one, the fact that she had to hear him say, "I'm being followed," and he gave the description as best as possible. Being followed by 3 white men, very similar. Ahmaud Arbery, 3 white men were following him, father and son, and the guy in the other truck.
Yes.
This man was missing. They finally found his remains. Remains mean he was parts of him. I mean, when I think of remains, that's what I mean. They didn't just say body; they just said remains. So they mess with this man, this young man.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna just say they sound like they're KKK.
Oh,
because
yeah.
the thing, because why would
The vibes definitely
point out a black man and then kill him? That's a KKK move. Because why would you drive around, just randomly look for a black man and just kill him?
Well, that's no different from George Zimmerman. No different from the killers of Ahmaud Arbery. No different from Emmett Till when you think about it, right?
No.
Very, very similar. We're gonna hunt you down. No different from the brother in Jasper, Texas, who got dragged on a truck to his head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's that same mentality. It's the mentality we're talking about. Demonic. How come you couldn't just leave the brother alone? See, a lot of things would be very nice and comfortable in this world if you just left us alone. Us alone. Just leave us alone.
Leave us alone. Yes.
We have talked about this on many episodes. Right? Out of doing this podcasting since 2016.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, come on, man.
Just leave us alone.
That's all you got. Yeah. So it sounds like my man was on his way to work. I mean, good Lord, you can't even go to work. And let me tell you something, man. I listen, I've never been to Mississippi, but those are one of those states I do not want to go to.
it has too much of a history.
It does.
Of a terrible history.
Yeah.
I'm not talking terrible history.
Yeah, that in Alabama, man. It's just something about those states. I mean, this stuff can happen anywhere. It can happen. I mean, stuff happens right here in the state that I live in currently, Texas. You know, there's a lot of history here, right? But then there's a lot of history back in where I'm from and where you still are, Zacchaeus, in New York. You know what I'm saying? People don't know about the racism stuff that happens in New York, right? Because people think of New York City, but they need to understand New York's a whole state as well. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
And a lot of stuff happened upstate that people don't want to speak of, you know? But I don't like this story, man. You know, it reminds me of Ahmaud Arbery. First of all, we demand justice. We ain't asking, we demanding it.
We demand justice,
you know?
yes.
Because I feel like I sense there's not cooperation, man. I sense they're not looking for the people who killed him. Am I wrong for thinking that? What do you think about that? That's my feeling, that they're not.
I feel that I want to see them put an effort and maybe looking for these goons.
Yeah.
And I feel that some. How long is it gonna take? I want to see something done in this case.
Yeah.
You know, I want to just put brush underneath the carpet because of that. Because if that's brush underneath the carpet, a lot of black people in Mississippi are in trouble.
Who you telling? So
I want to see something done. I want to hear something done because it's I want to see some I'm hearing, this is off the topic, but I'm hearing a little bit about the shooting in Buffalo. They got the guy.
Let's speak on it. The guy, yes, they got him. They've been arrested him, but the update is that the top supermarket shooter has pled guilty. So I want to speak on that just a minute, and then we're going to get into Shanquella. So the thing is, when a person pleads guilty, what happens is, you know, you have the DA, you have the judge, you have all of this stuff involved, right? The plaintiff, the attorneys, defendant, the plaintiff, right? And they all say, okay, here's the law of these crimes. Here's the crimes. Here's the laws of how many years you can get if you do these said crimes. Here the time you can get if you plead not guilty, and then you're found guilty, you do more time. Now, if you plead guilty, you do the set of time once convicted that it is. So I'll give an example. If you are convicted of breaking and entering, and you're supposed to do like a year or two in jail, right? Or jail or prison. And then you plead guilty. The most you can get is those years, right? But if you plead not guilty and you're found guilty, you can mess around and do 5 years. I mean, I'm just giving an example. I may be very wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer, right? So he pled guilty because, number one, he knows he's guilty. He had a video camera on his gun shooting people. So obviously, we know he went live on Facebook. That's what he did. The man went live on Facebook, may I remind people, or whatever he went live on, killing people, or killing black people, or people, or non-whites, we'll just say, because you know, but black people. And he said, people, and you know, his manifesto or whatever he had going on was about him being a racist. You know, he was a white supremacist. Absolutely, he was a white supremacist. I mean, he's not a white supremacist because I say so. He's a white supremacist because he said so.
He said so, yeah.
Right. So, and I wish more would just come out and just say who they are. I hate this suspected stuff. Let us know who you are. That way we know how to deal with you. That's number one.
Right.
Number two, that's why he pled guilty. I don't know how many years he'll do. Let me see if I can look that up. Go ahead, Zacchaeus.
You know, when it comes to situations like this, man, I mean, you hear all type of Now, is this the simple fact that you can't even go? What kind of bugged me out when I first heard this case is that you can't even go shopping.
Yeah, ain't that something?
You gotta. That's why I tell people that you gotta pray before you even step out the door.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even go. You can't even shop. Now, I believe this is what this how the story unfolds. I believe this is he was plotting this. He was actually.
I got some
planning
info when you're
this
ready.
because he actually went into the store probably more than one time. Many times he went into that store, and his agenda was to take out every black person who on site.
Mm-hmm.
Because on site. Now, I'm just calling it like it is. He's a terrorist.
Oh, absolutely.
On site.
Mm-hmm.
And if you was in that store that day, you didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're that fast and you're be able to hide before the shooting, it's just that the people that he shot in there were a lot of love, a lot of people in there. I think a weekend. Just regular. Normally, a shop. People shop all the time. People shop when they go to supermarkets all the time. We all go to supermarkets all the time. Very rare you find people ordering food online, but most of the time, 90% of the time, we just it's a normal thing to do. You go food shopping, and imagine you go into a supermarket and somebody's shooting in the store. You're like, it's unexpected. That's why I want to get into the mental state of people. The mental mind and the mental state of people are just messed up, man.
Well, his manifesto was he said that to kill as many black people as he can without getting killed himself. So this is why he went into a supermarket, because he knew that not many. Oh, in Buffalo, where there's not many people who got guns, right? Because the laws are different. He couldn't do something like this in an open carry places, because somebody would have had a gun and shot his behind. But anyway, so 19 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Gendron, he pled guilty to 10 counts of first-degree murder, 3 counts of attempted murder, and weapons possession charge.
Mm-hmm.
The charges come with a mandatory sentence of life in prison without the chance of parole. That's the info I was trying to get.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He had killed, just to remind people, he killed 10. Okay. His victims were, it says 11 out of 13 people who were shot were black and 2 were white. Out of those 13, 10 died. 10 got killed. And 10 of those people were black people. But that was his attempt. His attempt was, like he said, he wanted to kill black people, man. That's what he wanted to do.
That's what he wanted to do.
He killed black people and shot, and looks like he shot 2 white people, but they didn't die. But there's video of him after he kills 1 or 2 black people, which I haven't seen the video, but there's the video where he doesn't actually shoot. He sees a white guy at the cash register, balled up, scared, and he goes, "Ooh, sorry," and then aims his gun towards somebody black and shoots them. So obviously he knew exactly what he was doing.
He knew exactly what he's doing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They said that man pled guilty, right? With no emotion, lifeless. This man,
my God.
Yeah, man, demonic, man.
Demonic. Mm-hmm.
They have given their bodies over. When here's the thing, when you're somebody who's full of hate, you're the absence of who you are, what you could be. So you give your body up to be possessed.
Possessed by yes.
That's what you surrendered to.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You surrendered to demonic spirits to now take your body as a host. When you have hate like that.
Mm-hmm.
you basically just said that you want to become a son of perdition, as the Bible speaks about. The sons of perdition have chose their path. So you basically did the same thing Judas did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you have allowed to happen. You know, when you
Evil
give
demonic
yourself to the
forces,
devil
yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
give themselves to the devil, right? A lot of
Oh
people do,
yeah.
right?
Oh yes.
And they do it in many ways. They could
In
do
many, many ways and forms,
many
yes.
ways, not just
Mm-hmm.
shooting, you know, but in many ways, right?
Oh yes.
So that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. The demonic and evil forces, man. And
Justice will be served, man. He's going down. He's going down, man. Come on now.
yeah,
He's going.
yes.
Any other time, I would be like, "Oh, they're gonna let them off." Not this one. He ain't been let off. No.
No, not this. No. Absolutely.
Let me tell you something.
No.
All hell would break loose.
Yes, if they let yes. If
Hey,
they let him go, all hell will break loose. Yes.
if they thought Ferguson was bad,
they ain't seen nothing yet.
yeah, that's and I'm not advocating anything. I'm just saying that I don't think he's getting off. You would have to explain. No, you'd have to do beyond explain.
Oh yes.
Obviously,
ain't no way.
I don't think.
Way.
I don't think anybody would say. I don't think no trial would not convict him. I could see they're gonna convict him. This guy was a mass murderer.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he's not a cop,
away.
so ain't gonna be no back to blue crap. All right.
Nope.
This man's a terrorist. Okay. He is a white supremacist terrorist.
He's a white supremacist, yes.
And he's going down.
And he's going down, yes.
Life.
Mm-hmm.
And now he got to live through that. Hey, remember you was talking about the guy said the spirit of Emmett Till haunted him until until his last breath.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This man got a lot of bodies on him that he took away. He got a lot of lives he took away. And you know what? When you do crimes like that, you don't deserve to get rest. You don't deserve to have sleep.
No, you don't. No.
You know, especially if you're not repenting. This sounds like a man who's not repenting.
No.
When they said that he had no remorse.
No remorse, huh?
I don't think he'd be lucky to even last. Well, anyway. Let's get into our key topics of today.
Yes.
The one of the people who was involved in the murder, because it was a murder.
It was a murder.
Of Shanquella Robinson. Cooperation with Mexico police and like you said, the FBI and right, they were able to find her and arrest her, right? She will be tried in Mexico because that's where the crime has happened. That's one of the people involved. Zacchaeus, take lead on this story.
Well, those who I'm figuring most people know about the story about Shanquella Robinson. It's been all over the news and social media.
Right. Let's talk about the updates. Yeah.
The updates now, right now, it's they caught one person tonight, actually, today or tonight. Her name is Desiree Jackson. The one she was the one in the video that you see.
You may want to give a date because you know our shows are pre-recorded. So are we talking November 28th, November 29th, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Right. So there's a woman in the video that you see. If you look at the footage, you see her like hitting Shanquella. You see her that she attacked you. You see her, she's in the video attacking Shanquella. You see her hitting her, then she runs to the screen door. She hit her, punched her, and then she runs. That's Desiree Jackson. They just caught her. Now she's being she's apprehended. So now I guess they're gonna fly her to Mexico to be tried. And I think she's gonna serve time there. But what's gonna happen? This is what's gonna happen. If she never got arrested before, they're gonna apply the pressure on her. They're gonna apply the pressure on her, and like I said in previous times, that she's gonna squeal, and this is gonna lead up to the other arrests. They're not getting away with it. They're not getting away. The FBI is fully covering this. The news, thank God for the news, because I heard this news on Eyewitness News Channel 7. They're fully The media is fully following this case, so they're on them, and they're not gonna get away. They think they're in California. Just actually, is it California? Oh no, Charlotte, Carolina, North Carolina. They're in Carolina, just relaxing and enjoying themselves. No, you're gonna get caught. Listen, your days are numbered. Your days are numbered. So they already got one person. Now they got 5 more to go. They already got one person, Dejanay Jackson. They got 5 more to go. So as time goes on, that's it. You're gonna get caught. So justice will be served, and she deserved and she deserved justice. Shanquella Robinson absolutely definite deserves justice for this, because they should not get away with this. She had no idea that she's going to get attacked. No idea. So this is evil, not an evil demonic forces that came upon people.
I want you to get into you did a video on your IG not too long ago, and you said that you wanted to paint a picture for people, for those who can kind of understand what was going through Shanquella's mind when she was being viciously attacked. Without a care in the world, she's thinking everything is safe, goes into her room, lights out. What happens next? Go ahead.
Well, I always like to, when I talk, I like to paint a picture, just for, especially for young people, especially because Shanquella was young. Shanquella was 25 years old. And she just, it was somebody's birthday she was celebrating. Out of the 6 people that she was with, it was one of their birthdays, and she just wanted to come along. Now, as the story goes, as she's in her Airbnb, in the facility Airbnb, and she's getting ready to she's there the second day. She just want to unwind. She's in Mexico, trying to have fun. So what do some people do? Some people, they like to skinny dip. And that's what she was doing. She was getting ready. That's why her clothes was off. You want to know why her clothes was off? Because she was getting ready to skinny dip with everybody. She wanted to and if you could hear the audio of what she's saying. I'm coming, guys. I just got undressed. And hey, y'all, I'm just running to go in to get. I'm gonna skinny dip with y'all. And as she walks towards the room, she doesn't see anybody. It's scary because she don't know what's coming. She don't see nobody around. Imagine you're having fun. You're on your phone. You're taking a selfie. You're walking around. You're video recording yourself. You're having no care in the world, and you're a young lady, and you have no clothes on because you're trying to skinny dip with your friends, whoever's there to celebrate, to have a good time. And all of a sudden now, you walk into this room and there's nobody there. The room is quiet, and all of a sudden now you're hit behind your head, and then you're slammed with no explanation, no like, I'm doing this to you. You just attacked from behind. And that's what happened to Shanquella Robinson. She was attacked, and actually, I guess when she was attacked, everybody else had on their clothes except for her.
Yeah,
this was a plot to kill her. And the brother that was video recording, I think his name is Malika. He was recording it, saying, Quila, are you gonna fight back? Like this was already set. He was already gonna put this on his World Star or something like that.
He incriminated himself.
He incriminated himself.
But in one sense, I'm glad there's a recording. In the sense of they could identify the killers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then get more info on the accomplices. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to get more info. As time goes on, we're going to be...
Because here's the thing. You could, if I'm not mistaken, we're talking about tickets, right? When you buy a ticket, you run your ID, everything. They have names. You can't tell me you can't get names, because all you have to do is look at... And then you said... that one of the sources that you got is that she paid for their tickets, right? Is that what was said?
Absolutely, yes.
So all you have to do is track her ticket, track her account and say, okay, and then that way you can get the actual people that was on that plane or planes. I don't know if they were on the same plane. And then you have the Airbnb registry. I don't know how that works out. But all I know is I'm sure there's a way to get their names.
Oh yeah.
They got the one. They got the one girl. Can they get the other ones?
Oh yeah. Dejanae's gonna squeal. She might break down and say, "Listen."
Yeah, because in Mexico, their laws are different. You can't just get 2 phone calls and the due process laws are not like America's due process laws. I don't know if they even have due process.
She's gonna be tried in Mexico. Yeah, man.
You don't want to be in a Mexican prison.
My gosh.
Yeah.
That's where they're gonna take them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they talk about people deleting themselves in those prisons. Anyway, that's a whole that's a whole other story.
Wow.
So there's more to be said. We don't want to ramble on. Obviously, there will be more. This is just the beginning.
Yes.
But we just wanted to speak on it because we did talk about it last episode. So I think it's only right to kind of do a follow-up on it. All right. Anything last you want to say about Shanquella before we get into our last topic? That's going to take the most time.
Yeah, man. Just once again, condolences to her family.
Yep.
R.I.P. to Shanquella Robinson.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Now let's get to the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off, but not for reasons that people would think. I'm very, very fond of Jerry Jones, and I'm not hiding that from anybody. Is his record perfect? No. But I'm pissed off because he doesn't deserve what just happened. He doesn't deserve it. One report, our report, said he was 14 years old. Another report said he was 15 years old. At minimum, that's 65 years ago. Let me say that.
Okay, in the background, you heard the coons come out at night. My bad, I didn't know that was on. So that was Oh my God! Shout outs to oh my God! Shout outs to Tariq Nasheed for that. Added on music to that clip. That was Stephen
I love that. Yeah.
So that was Stephen A. Smith speaking on the Jerry Jones, who was the owner of the Dallas Cowboys NFL team. This is a hot button subject for a lot of people because, people are big Cowboys fans, quote unquote America's team. So when they hear about their owner coming up in a scandal, there's not going to be many people speaking on this, right? Because it's their owner, right? It's like, because if it was anybody else, they'd speak about it, right? And I guess, hey, that's easy because you could say, listen, I'm a Knicks fan. Let me tell you something. I have no problem, no business speaking on whatever stuff that comes behind them, okay? I ain't hiding nothing because I like a team. I don't do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I hold you accountable, no matter what. I remember when the whole Charles Oakley thing happened in the Garden. I spoke about it. I'm a Knicks fan, so I ain't on no bias to the point where I can't speak on something that's not that's unjust. If it's unjust, it's unjust, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm somebody who boycotted NFL for years because of the Colin Kaepernick situation. So it's not like I've never, you know what I mean? But anyway, I just wanted to get that out the way. But back to Jerry Jones. So for those who don't know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know because they don't want to talk about this. The media, they're not keeping that same energy with Kyrie Irving.
Oh.
So let's take a trip down memory lane. North Central Arkansas High School. The Little Rock 9, 1957. These were when schools were integrating with black students during that time. And there was a protest. For some reason, we have a photo of Jerry Jones in the mob-like crowd performing criminal. The crowd is performing a criminal activity by keeping children out of school. That is a criminal activity. Number one, when you're keeping children out of school, that is a criminal activity. Number one, I had to clarify that for people.
Yeah, yes.
The reason why is because if you was to do that now, a cop would pull you to the side and arrest you.
See?
So that was something that was happening back then. Now, some would say, how come those people weren't arrested? Because back then, there was something called, there was something called back then in 1957, if you're white, we don't arrest you for that. That's what that was called back then. Okay? Keep in mind that a lot of these students had to be escorted by police into a school. Imagine that. Imagine police have to escort you to go into a school. You don't have to do that today, but imagine back then that had to happen, right? And all they was trying to do was get equal education or a decent education or a basic education, as we call it, right?
Basic education, yeah.
So for some reason, somebody got receipts on Jerry Jones and decided to post a picture. There's no video. I wish there was. But I would think if there's a picture, there's more than one picture. In the video, it just shows him looking. In the picture, I'm pretty sure there's I wonder what other pictures would tell. When they asked him about it after the game about a week ago, when a Thanksgiving game when they played the Giants, he said he was a curious kid. I was a curious kid. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was happening. I was late for football practice. I was afraid I was going to get in trouble by my coach. I just wanted to know what was happening. I didn't know.
Right.
I'm just a 14-year-old boy. I don't know what's happening. Right? Meanwhile, everybody else knows what's happening in that crowd. Everybody, for those who see the picture. Apparently, somebody knew that was Jerry Jones in that crowd. This looks like a little boy. I wouldn't have known that was Jerry Jones. I mean, Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is an old man now. I don't know what he would look like as a kid, but apparently the author of that picture knows. That's who we need to talk to.
Right.
Because we'll get the story. We have to talk to the photographer, the media company at that time. Okay, right. Washington Post did an article about this. Sports Illustrated did an article about this, right? And so I'm looking at the picture right now. I'm looking at my phone, right? So I just find it interesting, right? Now, I pay attention to a person's body language when somebody's asking them a question, right? I noticed in the huddle, somebody's talking to this man. One of the reporters was asking him, what is your perception? What do you think people's perception of this photo? And, Stephen A. Smith's like, man, this was years ago. Come on now. Really? You gonna get mad at him years ago? It's more than that, Stephen A. So the man is getting questioned. And he doesn't want to look at the reporter when he's talking to him.
Yeah, see?
Other people ask him questions. He looks at them.
Right.
It goes back to that same black reporter who wants to ask another question. He don't want to look at him. You know how they say that your eyes tell lies?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something right now, man. I think a young Jerry Jones, old Jerry Jones, is telling me that more needs to be said about that photo than him just saying he was a curious kid. Because your body language tells me that you're uncomfortable. You don't want to explain yourself.
Right.
Or you don't want to incriminate yourself by explaining yourself. So you're trying to keep it very brief.
Yes.
Now let's go through some bullet points, and I'm gonna give you the mic, Zacchaeus. This is the same guy who said nobody on my team better not kneel like Kaepernick did when Kaepernick was kneeling for injustice.
Wow.
Sir, at 14, an injustice was taking place, and you're saying that a black player who's kneeling for against injustice, you said you would suspend, fire, or anybody on your team who kneels in a protest. That's what you said. That's what you said in your modern day life. So, okay, so that's your mentality coming out there.
Yes.
Then you, because I know people are going to say, well, what happened when he kneeled later on? That was because the NFL was under attack by the president at the time, who was Donald Trump, who talked about doing something with the NFL. You kneeled for that. You didn't kneel for injustice. You kneeled because he attacked NFL owners. That's what you did. Okay? So, nice try, Jerry. And nice try, Jerry Jones apologist and white supremacist apologist when it comes to that, right? You're not fooling me.
Yeah.
You know, check my pedigree. I ain't, no. You're not fooling me, all right? I know why he kneeled in that instance. That was not in the same context of when Kaepernick kneeled. No, it was not. Stop.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm just saying. Let's stop that. All right. And then also, I didn't know, they were saying that, a lot of owners, they have something called Rooney Rule, where a lot of black coaches were being shut out from interviews and being considered from trying to be a coach. And so the whole thing was, okay, listen, you have to, for the sake of affirmative action and equality, you need to interview everybody. Okay, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
What they're saying is that, that why is it that after all these years, when Jerry has the power to make a difference in his hiring in terms of black staff, I mean, he hires black players because black players make him money, right?
Right.
So they're saying that he's one of the main owners that hasn't hired a black head coach yet. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know. I guess you could say that.
Right.
Look, this is my overall opinion of Jerry Jones. Do I think he's a racist? I don't know. Do I think once upon a time he was a suspected racist? Yes. Okay. What you do now speaks to what you was in the past if you still kept that mentality. No, you don't judge a man by their past if they don't still do the same things they did in the past. But if they exhibit behaviors that were similar to their past, then it's safe to say that they might be the same type of person.
Yeah.
Zacchaeus, you go.
Well, when it comes to like, this is 1957, when it looks like 1957, right?
Yeah.
So, and you ever heard of, ladies and gentlemen, you ever heard of the term called birds of a feather flock together? Now, who's to say that Jerry Jones was with those guys that was causing crime against those black brothers in that supermarket? Well, not supermarket. I mean, counter cafe. It was a cafe.
Let me hit the sound effect.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You're gonna drop a bomb on that one. Go ahead.
Now, who's to say? Because you have to now just think about it now. If I know that you're gonna cause crime and cause harm on somebody, or cause and then may I remind you that when you in 1957, black people couldn't even get served the same as black. You had to go to a colored only. Then there was white only, colored only, segregation, Jim Crow. So Now, at 14 years old, let's think about it. At 14, you're still. Emmett Till was 14. A lot of young people at 14, they just do things. But at age 14, you do. Most kids are followers at age 14. They do whatever so and so is doing, and whoever is the older kids or older people they follow, and they do what they do. Now, to say you're just looking on could be. I think it's more than just looking on, but you say you're just looking on, but you would never admit that you was running with them. You was running with them for a long time, or you was running with them. Yes, it's 1957, but let's just think about it though.
Yeah.
Let's think about some cases like Bill Cosby,
Come on now.
R. Kelly. The list goes on.
Come on.
The list goes on. If I continue down the list,
Come on.
it goes on now.
Come on, brother.
Now, you said this is okay. 1957 is one thing, but if I'm involved in a case,
come on,
where I'm being spotted where people are attacking other people, right?
Yep.
I'm not doing the attack.
And you were 16.
I'm attacking it, and I was 16 years old. My outcome would be different than yours.
Come on.
Me and Fifth
talk to him.
Me and Fifth outcome will be different than yours.
Talk to him.
Let's talk space. Okay? Now when let's just think about it. Now, it happens to a lot of us. Sometimes we're just probably at the wrong place at the wrong time, but sometimes we're not. Sometimes we're in places who we associate. Like I said before, birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, I'm looking on, but doesn't mean that because I'm looking on, I'm not involved. Okay? And I'm just saying, I'm just looking on. Like, yeah, I'm just looking on. I could be, let's break it down now. Younger than 14.
Come on now.
Younger than 14.
Come on.
If I was younger than 14.
Come on. Take your time.
We're accused of things that we didn't do. Younger than 14.
Take your time.
At age 14, listen, once you're in a circle of people that's causing a crime against other people,
yep,
you are involved. There's no such thing. I was just looking on. Yeah, it happened 66 years ago. People are accused of things that happened probably further than that.
Come on now.
Now, Fifth brought up a point.
I did. Tell that point.
Yep. Now let's go down to like the Holocaust, right?
Oh!
The Holocaust.
Come on, brother.
Let's bring up the Holocaust. Now, just for being in the area.
Come on, brother.
You are arrested.
Come on.
Just for being in the area. 1932. West Germany in 1920 and 1932.
Come on, brother.
1933.
Come
1934. I'm just sweeping. I'm not a neo-Nazi jerk. I'm not neo-Nazi jerk.
Come
I'm
on,
not
brother.
a German soldier, but I'm just sweeping on, and I'm getting locked up.
Come on, bro.
And Jerry Jones is saying that I was just looking on.
Come on, brother.
So I don't want to hear just I'm just looking on.
Come on.
Because many of us are accused of something. When we're in a circle of people that are doing a crime, we're accomplices to a crime. Enough said.
Listen, right now, there are two rappers who are locked up right now because of their affiliations, and they got them on RICO laws. Young Thug and Young Gunna, stuff that happened years ago, and they don't even have all the actual proof of it, but they got them on RICO law. The RICO law seems to only apply for blacks and Nazis.
Hello.
Don't sit up here and tell me that man was 14, Stephen A.
Hello.
Okay? Yes, he was 14. Don't get me wrong, but that mentality is still alive today. And don't tell me some of that is still in him. Okay? Me and you know.
Stephen A. was defending.
When I was a kid, I used to live in Toll Hill Projects, Staten Island, right? If there was a situation where somebody was doing a crime in front of the building, and if the police were there and they rounded up people, and I walked up my door just to buy a bag of chips, they would arrest me.
Come on.
They was talking about a situation in the Bronx not too long ago, right? I was still in New York when this happened. What was it? Soundview Projects or whatever? Where Bambaataa them is from, whatever. They had a situation, they cops came out in vans, and they just started arresting everybody who was walking around in some RICO law. But meanwhile, you don't want us to give this suspected racist owner some heat over some photo that he was sitting there in front of trying to block some kids, and we're talking about an actual criminal activity, but y'all can't get him in no RICO law? Huh? Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving. This man almost lost his career over him posting an Amazon link to a video, right? To a movie, no caption, but then you want to call him anti-Semitic, right? Meanwhile, Jerry Jones is in a crowd, a mob of people preventing black kids from school, and he's not anti-black.
Hello.
Huh?
Hello.
And you want, and the media want to protect him. What? Yes, he was 14. Forget him being 14. This is about us checking in with you, man. You got a history, man. You got a history of being anti-black. I don't give a crap.
A. Smith, if you would have done the same thing, would they be so modest on you, A. Smith? A. Smith, right? Yeah.
Stephen A. No,
Stephen
they wouldn't
A.
have.
Smith.
Stephen A. Smith, once upon a time, let me tell you something about Stephen A. Smith one time. This man one time was with ESPN, and this man spoke out against certain things back in the days when he had a show called, quite frankly, he had Allen Iverson on the show. There was certain things that was going on in that program, and he was a very different brother then. And you know what they told him? They said, come here, Stephen A., we want to talk to you. Either you quit or we fire you. Wow. And that man been apologizing since then.
Sure.
Okay?
Still apologize.
This is why he's being so careful. Oh, why? Because you sat up there on that show First Take, and there was an episode when they was at Cowboys Stadium, and they had a helicopter ride, and you come out that helicopter ride with Jerry Jones wearing a cowboy hat, smoking a cigar, kissing up the white daddy. Huh?
There you go.
I know who you are, Stephen A. I know you. You that same brother, and this is a shame, because you have no problem doxing a black man. You that same brother that if there was a revolution and the slave master whipped the slave 15 years ago,
right,
and then his son says, hey, that man killed my daddy, Stephen A. would be the top to say, that was 15 years ago.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
You think I don't know who you are, Stephen A?
He defended Jerry. He defended Jerry Jones more than Jerry Jones defended himself.
Hello.
Okay.
Look.
Okay.
And another thing. They told Kyrie Irving, they said, brother, you're suspended without pay, a minimum of 5 games. We'll tell you when you come back. But before you come back, you need to donate to you need to get anti-Semitic training. You need to get sensitivity training. You need to give money to the ADL, Anti-Defamation League. You got to meet with a rabbi. You got to go to Israel. You got to talk to Josiah. You got to go back in time and talk to the great rabbis from the Torah. We're gonna need you to knock on everybody's door, in the Jewish community, and have a form. You need to go visit synagogues and apologize. I have a question. Did anybody tell Jerry Jones what he has to do? I got it. I'll tell you what Jerry Jones needs to do. Jerry, I'm gonna need you to donate some money to black causes.
There you go. Got one of the coupons. There you go.
All right. I'm gonna need you to go visit with the with the Congressional Black Caucus.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to donate over $1 million. No, $10 million to Dr. Umar's school.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, and Jerry, don't think I forgot about what you did with Colin Kaepernick. I need you to donate $1 billion to the Know Your Rights campaign.
There you go.
I need you to go visit, and at their discretion, New Era. Oh, New Era wants a blank check.
Oh, see?
Oh, and by the way, give some money to NAACP while you're at it.
There you go.
Oh, and by the way, Jerry Jones, you're suspended without pay. Does it sound ridiculous? That's the whole point I'm making, right? I was playful with that, but the point I'm making is y'all did all of this stuff, the media, y'all did all of this stuff with Kyrie. Kyrie's a grown man, but Kyrie's not in some mob blocking white kids from school.
Right. And let me remind people too that Kyrie Jones, all he did was posted
a link,
a
photo
of
a movie
to inform people, his fans. That's all he did. That's all he did. No criminal activity. That's no threatening people. No calling people out their names. No causing no mischievous crime. No sneaking, drugs on narcotics. Nothing of the sort. All this man did was post a link, and they made it sound like a big crime.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Well, we're gonna wrap this up. I had fun.
Man.
But all jokes aside,
with Google Pixel,
oh god,
your phone, buds.
I didn't mean to do that. All jokes aside,
yeah,
we're not here to offend nobody. but I just wanted to make it clear. I don't think the RICO law should only apply to black gang members and former Nazis. I'm with getting those Nazis. Don't get me wrong. I don't want this taken out of context. Arrest and try them for all. But has anybody arrested any of the former slave masters of slaves? I mean, I know a lot of them are dead, but has anybody, their families are still alive, benefiting from the years of, they've had a 400-year head start.
Yeah.
They've had white supremacy has had a 400-year head start, and then want to look at black people and say, why y'all doing so bad?
Right.
If I had a 400-year head start, I wouldn't be doing bad at all.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
The race was fixed. Right? So, Jerry Jones should apologize. Because let's just keep it real. He has benefited off of that racism that took place in 1957 and beyond and before.
Okay.
Let's just keep it real. But nobody gave him a list of demands of what he got to do to keep from being canceled. That's all I'm saying.
Nope, they didn't.
I don't care if he was 14.
Yeah, and A. Smith will say, but that was 66 years ago.
Yeah, whatever. Man.
That was 67 years. That was 67 years. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm more so mad at the media than I am mad at Jerry, though. That was the whole point I was making. I'm just mad at the media protection. The media is doing a very good job protecting him versus what they haven't done with others. That's who I'm really mad at mostly.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Jerry,
Jerry, whatever. Forget Jerry. But this is more about the machine. I'm mad at the machine that's behind this. That's what I'm mad at. Okay? I'm mad at the machine. The machine pulls the lever, hits the switches, and makes and makes the actual things happen. I'm mad at the machine, man.
The machine itself, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
Yeah, man.
Zacchaeus, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, man. Y'all can reach me. So those who passed, condolences to them. Those who got murdered, condolences to their families, and RIP to them. Man. And RIP to them. You can reach me on Zacchaeus at Zacchaeus Music on Instagram, also on Facebook. Actually, on Instagram too. You can reach me at Wayne Backus Gospel on Instagram too. But on Facebook, you would hit me up at Wayne Backus 167 on Facebook. Also on Twitter at Wayne Backus 2 on Twitter. Yeah.
All right. Y'all can get at me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Fifth General.
Yes.
All right. We'll see y'all next episode. This was another great episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth. We'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Next time. Peace.
All right.